Hello everybody. Today in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to make a auto rig using Python and Maya. Let's begin. So for this tutorial what I mainly am going to do is automatically create a NURB circle and then parent that circle to the bone, and we can create an automatic FK setup. Let's begin. So the first thing you want to do, I should start by saying this is PyCharm. I'm using a plugin to show it off. I'm using a plugin called MayaCharm, which allows me to just run code in here, and it will get run into the console as such. So whenever I hit this, I'm actually just running the script in Maya. But you don't need a specific IED. I just wanted to point that out before going into the video. Or, yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called selection. This doesn't have to be this name. It can be any name you want it to be. So the way it is, how it works is you do cmds dot ls sl equals true. So what this does is it's going to give you a name of, well, it's going to give you a list of every object we have selected. So to show that off, print selection. So we're going to select this whole thing. We're going to run this code, which is going to make that, and we're going to print out selection. So now we're going to open up the console. So we have upper arm, lower arm, wrist, which is exactly what we have selected here. Knowing the name of something is very important because we can now automate the process a little bit more, and I'll show you how we do that. So we do for x in selection. This is a for loop. If you don't know Python, this will run this line of code for every object we have selected. So what I'm going to use now is the xform command. So how xform works is we're going to do first create a variable. So POS, which is going to stand for position, equals cmds dot xform x. Then we're going to do q. So there are these things called flags. I can show it off. So do Maya Python xform. So these are the flags. I want to just show you where this is coming from. Where is Curie? I don't think it's going to show up as a flag, but pretty much we need to get the translation. So in this case, we're going to use the T flag. There we go. Okay, so Curie equals true. Without this flag, what's going to happen is it wouldn't really do much. It would try to like move the joint to its own position. The Curie basically means that we're just going to read this value rather than moving it. WS equals true. That's in world space, so that we're grabbing it from world space, and then T equals true, which means we're going to get the translation of the object. And to sort of demonstrate it, we're just going to do print POS position, and this should be run several or 3 times, assuming we have this thing. So let's see what the console says. So the console just outputted the location of our joints. So I can open the channel box to check that these are correct. See, our values are the same as what's being outputted. So we have the position of our joints. Now we're going to go to rotation. So ROT equals CMDS. I can just copy and paste this. I'm going to do ROT for rotation. The flag for rotation is RO, so RO, which means now we're going to get the rotation of our objects. I'm not going to print it because we kind of already saw what happens. So we have our two values. Now what we need to do is we need to create a circle. So I'm just going to go NURB circle. There we go. And I'm just going to steal this because this is all we really need. Python. There we go. We have a circle. Now we're going to do, we want to rename our circle to something that makes sense. So CMDS dot rename. And so the way that the rename function works is whatever you have selected is going to be renamed. And when you create a circle or whenever you create an object in Maya, it will automatically select that one. So we don't need to do any code to like select the circle. It's just going to be selected. And then we can just do the rename function. So we do x plus, I just do ctl. This might cause a bug if let's test it out. Let's test it out if there's a bug. So I'm going to select all our joints, run the script. Oh, okay, no bug. So we have 3 circles that we've created, all with the correct naming. Now we have to move them, so I'm going to just go back to being normal. So now we're going to do just the regular xform command without, so cmds.xform. So all we have to do is just, so because of the query command, because of that, we were reading, but now we can basically essentially just write our transforms. So if I do t equals POS, which is this value, and then I'll do RO equals ROT. Basically the values from our joints will now be set for our controls as well. So let's test it out. There we go. So we have one NURB circle for every joint. So the next thing we need to do is, well, actually we need to rotate them because they're not rotated. So the way we do that is I'm actually gonna rewrite this as, so instead I'm gonna do ROT 0. So this is like a list, and it has 3 values in it. So we do ROT 0, ROT 2, or 1, because it's an array. ROT 2. There we go. And so this will be our x value, this will be our y, this will be our z. And so now that we have it like separated, I can add a 90-degree rotation to our y, and that will get us the correct value. So I'm going to do this. There we go. Now we will have to find a way to zero out the transforms. That'll be a different video though. So the next thing we need to do is, so now that we have these rotated, we actually need to do a parent constraint. So it's cmds dot, it's parent constraint. Yeah, it's capital for the C. And it's the way it works is it should be, we select the curve and then we select the joint. So what we can probably do is X there, and then because we created the circle, it will be selected. So what I'm gonna do is selected joint. So we'll create a new variable. This variable will be equal to cmds dot ls. So equals true. This will just create a variable, or a variable that has the same name as the object we have selected. So we renamed it to, you know, the joint name plus control. So this selected joint will now actually equal what we just renamed it. And then that will give us a name we can use to constraint. So selected joint. I think to prevent, it might get an error. So I'm going to do just the first in the list, and that should prevent anything bad from happening. Do a save all. Oh, so reason why this is happening is because there's one more flag we need to set, which is maintain offset equal, oh, I did that outside of the maintain offset equals true. That should fix the issue. There we go. The last thing we need to do is, so to make it even more automatic, we could just manually parent these, but I'm going to show you how we can not do that. We can do it automatically. So the way we do it is the first object we have selected, actually we can't really parent it to anything. So the solution would be to do a if statement. So if I'm going to create a new variable, I'm going to just call it list value equals 0, and then if list value is greater than 0, then we're going to run the code, but if not, then we're going to just skip it. So what we're going to do is cmds dot parent, just parent regular, no constraint. And what we're going to be doing is we already have the selected joint, which is the object, but then we need to give it something to be parented to. So what I'm just going to do is, after the if statement, we're going to do new parent equal cmds dot ls sl equals true, no space there. So what this will do is, just as I mentioned before, it's gonna, the thing we have selected, which in this case is gonna be this joint, or not, it's going to be the selected curve. I actually shouldn't call it that because it's supposed to be selected curve. I'm gonna rename this one. There we go. Selected curve, because it's actually supposed to be the curve we're selecting, not the joint. That just makes it easier. And then it should be selected curve 0 and then new parent. And what's going on here is that it's going to skip the first first joint because the first joint has nothing to be parented to, and then every other joint after, or every other control, I should say, will have something to be parented to, and the new parent value is created after the if statement, so that way the new parent, we just get the correct control to be parented, and if that makes any sense. So if I run the script, oh, I know exactly what's going on. So the list value actually needs to be incremented because it doesn't actually change, so it's going to be 0 the entire time. So plus equals 1, space, because it doesn't like that. Save all. Now when I run the script, there we go. And now we have an automatic FK setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll probably be posting more stuff about how to do code and whatnot, but thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.